What's up guys, this is my latest video and I am so tired because it's like the 10th time I've tried it because it is not easy. It's called Talk It Out. It's about bullying. This is part of my own story mixed with a whole bunch of other people's stories. I've asked them to tell me their experiences with bullying, and so yeah, they're in that, although most of their names have been changed. This will hopefully eventually be put into an actual video with professional grade recording for video and audio as well, not just a shitty webcam in my garage. Yeah, so here we go. Talk it out. That's what my mother always told me to do. And what she meant was that any demon that resides in a person's fist can be exorcised with the right words. But what am I meant to do when the demons are being conjured by the words that they speak? What if their words start hurting more than their punches? What happens when I would rather that they just kick my teeth in than whisper these harsh words beneath their breath? What then, Mom? You never told me what to do when the language I speak is part of the reason that I want to die. And Dad, I love you, but I don't think that I ever want to speak to you again. Because how dare you preach of peace and then a week later lay your hands on my mother and my brother. And don't you say that you won't do it again, because I still remember the bruises that I had from falling down the stairs. I may have been young, but I know that I didn't fall down the stairs, and I know that I didn't trip down them. But tell me, Dad, how did I already know to hide these bruises? Because I hid them from my mother, my friends, my teachers, and myself, and I never spoke out about them. Not until now. I just wish it was only me that had to deal with these sorts of things, but it isn't. There are hundreds of kids in this town alone and thousands in the country. They are getting the shit beaten out of them every day, and it's not just with fists. Because they say that sticks and stones will break your bones, but they got the part about the words wrong. If worded right, the cruel things that people will say, they'll haunt you long after these bruises are gone. Like Hene, whose mother passed away when she was young and her dad was sent to jail. And now I know they say that kids can be cruel, but that's no excuse for how she was ridiculed. She just wanted a friend, but they tore her apart. They ruined her life and they broke her heart. And she is still alive today. And when Ellie was in high school, she hung out with the biggest group of friends, so she was never alone. But because everyone knew her, she became a bigger target. An unknown number started texting her saying that they were someone that they were not. And they started talking for months and months on end, and she fully opened up to them, telling them everything. But they still had not met. But that's because he wasn't real. It was just a fictional character made up by the people that were meant to be her friends. And when she found out, she felt her heart break. But she stayed friends with them because the loneliness is just too hard to take. She is still alive today. And then there was Jack. He was the sort of student that every parent wanted their kid to be like. But other kids began to hate him because he was doing what he should and getting the grades that he should. And so they abused him to the point where he broke. They smashed the pedestal that he had made his home. He dumbed himself down to avoid the way that they looked at him and the things that they said. He is still alive today. And when Zoe was little, she loved going to school because it was a safe haven where her talents could shine. But that was up until the teacher started abusing her, both verbally and physically. Now what sort of a teacher calls a young girl a fat little bitch? Don't you know how impressionable these kids are? Every word that you say, it sticks in the back of their mind. And at 9 years old, she started homeschooling and she stopped eating. And she started to cut herself. Because just like the teacher said, she felt like she was too fat and not good enough for anything. But she is still alive today. And Georgia was bullied up until she was 15 because she let it slip that she could barely afford to eat every night. Instead of helping, all the kids just gave her hell. She tried to kill herself 4 different times. She is still alive today. And Haley was bullied by every single person that claimed to be her friend. It got so bad that she stopped going to school, and there was only one person that could make her feel better. But everyone she knew hated him, and on more than one occasion she tried to kill herself. And she thought that if she did, she would be able to see her mother again. But she didn't need to, because there was still at least one person on this godforsaken planet that still loved her. And she is still alive today, and they are still together. Congratulations. And he, who I will not name, was bullied and ridiculed after his own father's suicide. He was beaten and spat at, he was screamed at and sent home in tears on more than one occasion. I didn't know him well enough back then, but if I did, I know that we would have been friends. And if we were, then maybe I could have saved him, and his brother wouldn't have found him with his feet dangling half a meter off of the floor of the basement. And he is not alive today. So if you ever think that it's okay to throw your words around just like your weight, then don't act so surprised when your friends start dropping like flies. And everyone knows that when fists stop flying, someone's gonna get hurt. It's the same with words. But I can't talk it out, Mom, because these words are making me wish that you would never give birth.